Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Algebra and Trigonometry with Professor V. So we're still simplifying our algebraic exponents. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this one, it looks like we have 25m over 5 to the 0 m. So this 5 to the 0 is going to simplify to 1 right off the bat. And that's just going to be 1 times m. So we have 25m over m. Now m over m is going to cancel each other out, and that'll just be 25. So that's how we go about 37. Now 38 starting to look fun, so it looks like we have 16 square roots of x, all of this top term squared, over y to the negative 1. So, not sure if everyone's aware of this, right? So there's a couple ways we could go about this. So we have 16 to the first power, so that's going to be 16 to the second power is, or sorry, 16 to the second power, right? So that's how we go about this one. It's just 1 times 2. Now, the square root of x can also be viewed as x to the half power, right? So that would be x to the half power times 2. And what that ends up simplifying to is, well, 1 half times 2, right, is just going to be 1. So it undoes the square root. So for the top, we have 16 squared x over y to the negative 1. Now for the y to the negative 1, all we could do is pull it up top, right? God, it won't let me draw this negative. I'm sorry. That's y to the negative 1. So 16 squared we can do, right? Not sure what that is off the top of my head, so let's go ahead and multiply that. 36, carry the 3, 6, 9, 96, and then that's just 6. That's 160. That'll be 6, 5, carry the 1, 256. So we have 256 x, y. And why the y goes to the top is because it's negative 1, so we would have to just move it up there. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead and erase this multiplication I have here, so just bear with me real quick while I get rid of it. So we don't want to leave this here, it's just going to take up room. Okay. We go ahead and go back to the pencil tool. So that one was fun. So now we have 2 to the third power over 3a, and all this is to the negative 2. So this is the power of the power rule on the bottom, right? So, yeah, no, let's just leave it like this. Okay, I'm just thinking of the different approaches we have. So here we have 1 times negative 2, so that's going to be 3 to the negative 2. And then here we have a to the negative 2. So these are both going to go up top, right? So we'll end up with 2 to the third power times 3 squared a squared. Okay. So these just went to the top. So now we can do the simplification. So 2 cubed is going to be what? 2, 4, 8. So that's 8 times 9a squared. And that's 9 from 3 times 3. So what it looks like we have is 72 a squared for these ones. Okay. So that's how 39 is going to simplify. For 40, looks like now we have MA is raised to the 6th power. And all that's raised to the 2nd power. And then we have it times 1 over m cubed a squared. So we'll do the power rule, and then what I want you to think of is this is just all a whole number, right? We can add 1 under it, so we're going to also multiply these straight across. So m to the 1st power times 2, right? It's the power of the power rule. So that ends up being m squared. That's a to the 6th times 2, so that's a to the 12th. And that's literally, if we multiply our fraction, we go straight across, right? We multiply the numerators. Here on the bottom, we also multiply 1 times the denominators, so we end up with m cubed. And then that's going to be a squared. And what I'm going to do is kind of my little trick that I like to do. So I would say let's just cancel the one with the lowest power. In this case, it's m to the 2nd, right? We have m to the 2nd, m to the 3rd. If you think of the subtraction, it's going to be m to the 2nd, so m2 minus 3, which is -1, right? So the m should be to the 1st power on the bottom, but the way I like to do it is I can cancel 2 of these m's for 2 m's down here. So if I cancel 2 of them, I'm going to cancel 2 of them here, and that's m to the 1st power. So in my fraction bar, I have m at the downstairs on the denominator. And here, I'm allowed to cancel a to the 2nd, right? So I can minus, that's a to the 12th minus 2, so that's a to the 10th. But I'm going to do is cancel these 2, cancel 2 here. That ends up being a to the 10th. So what I have is a to the 10th over m. So that might be a little confusing for some of y'all, but if you just do the rules I kind of practiced earlier, right? What I was stating is that was m2 minus 3, which is m to the -1, which would mean that that's 1 over m to the 1st power. And for this one's I think a little more straightforward, right? 12 minus 2, 10. So that's the quick way of doing them. It's a nice little trick. It speeds up the process for these just a little bit. So now on the next one, it's looking like we have b to the -3 times c, everything to the 3rd power. So what it looks like we have is -b to the -9. Oh, -b, where did I get that from? Jeez. So, sorry, that's b to the -9, right? It's the power rule, right? -3 times 3, -9. And then c times c to the 1st times 3 is just going to be c cubed. Now we pull the 9 to the bottom. So we have c cubed over b to the 9. Alright, so now we're on 42. Okay, so this is everything squared. Okay, so this is x squared, y 13. This is over y to the 0. And it's everything squared. That's why they have those parentheses around everything, right? So y to the 0 we don't really have to worry about, right? It's just going to be the power of the power rule multiple times. 2 times 2 is 4. It's x to the 4, right? That's 13 times 2, which is going to be y to the 26th. the bottom part's irrelevant, right? It's going to be y to the 0 times 2, which is 0, so it still simplifies to 1. And 1 fits into these terms the same amount of terms, right? So it doesn't change anything. And now for the last one, let's go ahead and just kind of make a box here and squeeze it in. So for this one, we have 9z to the third, everything to the negative 2, this whole term to the negative 2, times y. So now it's the power of the power rule again, right? It's 9 to the first times negative 2, so we end up with 9 to the negative 2. And then the power of a power rule, so that's z to the negative 6 again. And then y. This 9 to the negative 2 and z to the negative 6 go downstairs in the denominator. So that ends up being 9 squared z to the 6th. Sorry, that's a horrible z. So that ends up being y. So we can square the 9 squared, which is 81. And then that's z to the 6th. And that's all we can do for this one. So we are finished. Please like and subscribe if this brought you some value, you guys. Comment down below if there was any confusion. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a great day.